internet. Something is definitely going on. Anyway, welcome back to Creative Perspectives. I'm Brandy, and I was asked how would I know if a cheater is cheating? Well, if you are married, there are definitely telltale signs. You know your spouse like the back of your hand if you've been married for a very long time, or even for a couple of years if you've dated for a while. A quick way to know is if they create artificial problems around the house and they maximize issues that never was really an issue. And now all of a sudden it's like through the roof. The purpose of a cheater is if they're trying to go see someone else outside of you as their spouse, they're going to create any type of issue that's going to allow them to separate from you temporarily so they can go hang out with whoever it is. If they do business, it's easier because all they do is travel. And during their travels, they could just lie and make it seem like it's a work thing when it's really them just cheating. Okay. Another way you could tell is if they are coming home and just getting all glammed up and they're not really trying to take you out. It's just they're getting glammed up to look nice, or they're being overly friendly, or they're doing things out of character, things they don't normally do. So if they never really buy you flowers and it's not a holiday, and then all of a sudden they start giving you flowers almost every day or something like that, then it's pretty much like their conscious getting to them, letting them know that hey, I'm doing my 80% wrong for that little 20% over there. So it's self guilt. Another way you will also be able to tell is because outside of artificial problems and outside of being overly nice to you as a form of apology without you knowing what's really going on, is they will also maximize small issues that used to be really small. So if you can't cook, or if you can't if you're just not a good housekeeper, then they'll use that to their advantage to make it seem like you're a horrible person. And it's all, again, just to be able to they made plans with their, whoever, the man or woman that they plan to see. So all they have to do is get rid of you temporarily. Now they know they're going to come back to you, but they just need a way to get permanent time to go and hang out with whomever they had intended to hang out with. So it's just like they just want to get rid of you temporarily. Okay. I made some notes, so that's why you see this little notepad right here. Give me a second. Let me look at my notes. Check. Definitely, they'll display some really childish behavior. Even a mature man can go there. And if they're very immature, they'll start accusing you of the behavior that they're doing. So if they know they're cheating, they'll all of a sudden come back and try to make it seem like you're doing something extra, or they'll try to control you more because by them knowing what they're capable of doing, then they'll automatically try to assume that you are capable of being equally as just equal to their behavior. Okay, forgive me, it is really late. It's way past my bedtime. Obviously, we know the basic signs, which is obviously they'll shop for new things, new underwear. They'll take extra care of the car, little things that they normally won't do for you. Or if they are really doing those things, you just have to look for additional ways to be able to tell. One way is definitely if they're always, making sure their phone is in a private place, or they're always keeping their phone with them. It's like they don't feel safe away from it because they don't want you to really know what's going on. Sometimes they'll put on thumbprints, facial recognition, anything that keeps you out of their device, okay? Because they don't want any surprises, okay? And that'll allow the other person to feel more confident to call them. And then if they have lied to I don't want to call them a side piece at this point, but if they lied to an individual in order to try to cheat with that individual, then they want to make it look like they are available to that other person. Okay. But creating friction is the number one objective. Okay. If they're used to, if you guys have a dynamic where you're used to being in each other's presence, so you know their schedule, to where you could tell when they should, around the time they should be home. Okay. But if they're a traveler, then it's more harder to detect, but you'll still be able to tell because the nitpicking portion and the artificial problems that they try to create to be able to make it seem like the problems around your house is a lot more than what they really are. They try to make the environment as miserable as possible. They are very theatrical, dramatic. Let's see. I'm trying to get through all these notes for you so I could really sit and talk. Okay, I think I covered everything pretty much. It's just they want to do whatever they can to make themselves available for their side piece. I'm gonna just put this on the floor. Sorry. So a way that you can pretty much avoid that. Me personally, I'm a big fan of just getting rid of the person. I've been divorced twice, just so you know. So I'm not afraid to get up, walk away, and start fresh and new. Okay. So, because the way I look at cheating, and I hope this kind of inspires you, I don't want you to be getting divorced if that's not really an issue, because some men and or women, they're not serial cheaters. They may have done it once or they're about to plan to. Okay. So that's why you need to get the signs down right so you can nip it in the bud beforehand. But the way I look at it is if that person takes the time to, go out there, hunt down a person, take off their wedding ring to pretend like they're single, and some men don't, you get what I'm saying? Then to me, that's not a prize. You know, the purpose of marriage is because they thought you were a prize. Now, if you've been married for a very long time, you're going to have those dry spells, you're going to fall out of love, and then you need to find ways to fall back in love. Sometimes it could be more difficult as time goes by. Sometimes it could be easier as time goes by, depending on what your marital dynamic is. However, when you're dealing with a actual serial type of cheater, they already know how to manipulate not only the spouse, but the other individual. They're trying to discover how to manipulate the new individual, but because they know you, they kind of know how to kind of manipulate the situation in order to gain what they need, in order to gain access to whoever they're trying to entertain in the moment. For me, I just believe if somebody can be that disrespectful and they can find the time to form a connection, that means this has been going on for a long time, then they are not worth it. You get what I'm saying? But some people, you know, it just depends on, you know, I've always talked about this, that like some people, their self-esteem, they have issues with their self-esteem. They have traumas that have not been definitely tackled in a way that it should have been to help them be able to see themselves as more valuable than what they currently see themselves. And sometimes they have their attachment styles are derived from what they have experienced growing up. So sometimes, depending on who you are, it could be a little bit more difficult. Sometimes if you have been in traumatic incidents and you've witnessed it growing up through your caregivers, your parents, stuff like that, then also that could be another reason why it's a little bit more difficult to start disconnecting from that. But I would encourage people, you know, if that's the issue, get some healing done before you do that. But let's get back on topic. If you are the other individual, you know, the non-marriage party, the non-spouse. Okay. And I watched my other video. I was like, marriage, and it should have been married. Okay. But sometimes when I'm tired, my brain just does what it needs to do. But anyway, so anyway, if you are not the spouse and you are the other individual, just think of how much value they do not have for you, because they are willing to lie, concoct all kinds of artificial stories to be able to escape And that's if they haven't told you that they are married. Now, if they have told you that they are married, they're going to create all kinds of lies. That's why I put two sides to the story of a cheater, because they're going to create so many lies about their spouse in order to warm your heart. And we know how women are sometimes, depending on how they were raised and all of the issues that they faced, or their level of empathy and sympathy towards any form of trauma, then they could get, swooped in, like, let me be captain, save this guy, or save this girl, and really you need to leave it alone and allow yourself to just stay with other single people. Sometimes, unfortunately, you have some men where they lie and then they don't tell you that they are married, because all they're trying to do is gain your heart and all of that, because they're trying to sleep with you over the course of a longer period. And then they'll keep creating lies upon lies upon lies, compound lies, and artificial problems that are really not going on at their house, and sometimes they will cater towards a woman's emotions, especially they could use their own children, just think of how bad a person has to be to use their own children and bring their kids into a story. Like, oh, they're not taking care of the kids and all this. The woman is over there cooking, cleaning, doing everything that he's or she is lying about, to make their spouse look so bad to where they could get you into the picture so they could get what they want from you. Okay. So I would just say, hey, if you get somebody like that, get rid of them as soon as you see them, get rid of them as soon as possible, because they are not worth your time and they definitely don't respect you. A lot of people mistaken, the lies and the manipulation as love, or as, you're going to be together eventually, and you're not. The only thing they are is they're selfish, self-serving. And you got to consider, if they are doing this to their spouse, they'll do it to you. And then on top of that, you don't really know the full story. There's two sides to every story, and they will not present two sides. If it was that bad, they'll let you go meet their spouse, and then the spouse can get together with you and talk to you about that. But 9 times out of 10, they're trying to keep you covert and hush hush, to keep you as far away from anybody they know. Okay, from anyone they know. And sometimes they'll even try to introduce you to their shady friends, and to make their lies look believable. And then they'll have their friends on board for that whole entire scenario. So if you really want love and you really want to show value for yourself, and you remove yourself from that equation and let that person know, okay, if it's really that bad, go get some counseling and all that. And then after you do the healing, because even after a divorce or something like that, because most of them will lie about, hey, I'm getting divorced, or we're separate, or, just lies upon lies. Then tell them to go handle that first. And then when they get healed, when everything is safe and they are balanced, then try to come and talk to you if you haven't already been taken by somebody else. Okay. Because you're not trying to hold your life up for that individual. And if you do, I feel really, 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 my heart goes out to you. Okay. And just kind of try to figure out why you would do that. They already are taken. They pick their 80%, and then you're the 20% that's hoping that they're going to just suddenly pick you. If that is you, not all people are like that. Some people manipulate, some cheaters who are married, they do manipulate people who are single, and available, because they just want what they want, and they're only looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for you. That's why their stories are always either confusing, or the story changes, or they have to always backpedal and recreate more stories, or create more and more drama, and then lie and say, oh, we're getting this much closer, and they were never getting there. They were just lying the entire time to make you feel safe enough to give up your body. So, and that's it. And then just remember, when they go home, they're going to be hanging out with their wife, loving on her, touching all parts of her body, and loving up on their babies, while you are sitting over there waiting for them, and they're giving you minimum, you know what I'm saying? So you want the full package. You want somebody that can invest into you, that sees you, and that can respect you, because that person, if they're cheating, they don't respect you, and they definitely don't respect their spouse. They're just hoping that their spouse never finds out. And then if it does, and it becomes a big problem, and then you guys turn into a piss match between the spouse And then you, 9 times out of 10, that spouse is going to win. Okay. And then hopefully, as a spouse, that spouse will walk away from that situation because that man or woman is showing that they don't respect their spouse. They don't care enough to shut things down or to talk about issues, real issues that may be making them walk away from their spouse, okay, in the first place, because there's always a story and there's always a trigger point and there's always a beginning of how it all started. You go. So, but it's not for you if you are the other person to try to figure out another marriage, a married couple's life. Okay, don't try to become their counselor. Don't try to act like you are Mother Teresa, trying to help them figure it out or trying to help get yourself involved in any way, shape, or form, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to be as invested in their marital problems as possible to keep you in a hamster wheel or keep you on their puppet strings so that they could keep getting your body, because that's pretty much what it is. And sometimes it's not your body, it's just they want the company. Okay, they want to just speak to you. You might be entertaining for them to get them out of their normal day, but that's not your position in their lives. Okay, your position is to take your entertainment to somebody else that is already single, just like yourself, and available, and who can actually show respect. Okay, if they are willing to sneak, then and willing to cheat, they are not the prize, honey, and they're not going to make you one. Okay, and then you're going to waste all this time that you could have been investing into someone who is single, available, even if dating may, pose some issues, and you may not have found what you're looking for. You definitely don't want to be in a position like that. I think that's worse than just being single and then looking, for your prince or your princess or your queen or your king. Okay. So I hope that helps. Like, subscribe, share, your comments. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am all about healthy connections, with people. That's what this channel is about, forming healthy connections. And if you are cheating, that is not a healthy connection. And if you are entertaining a cheater, that is not a healthy connection. But you are more, happy to do what you want. I'm not going to sit here and judge. Everybody has their life. Everybody has their reasons for how they live their life. But that was a subject that came up, and then that was my perspective on it. That's why I call this channel Creative Perspectives. God bless you. Have a great night. Have a blessed day. And I, love you all for your support, and thank you so much for getting this channel monetized. And I am going to try to get on here more often, even if I'm, I will make sure. Okay. I love editing and doing studio stuff more because then I can edit and put funny things in it. But I also do have to practice my on camera presence, and then I listen back to some of the things I say to try to correct the issues there too. But overall, the message still stands, and I hope it's a blessing for you. And I'll be praying for you. I'm a prayer warrior. Definitely a prayer warrior. Because I understand. I've been on the side of the coin where it's not comfortable. To be cheated on and to have to let someone go because of that. You get what I'm saying? And then, especially if you have a family dynamic, it's splitting up a lot more than you think. Okay. So if you are the other participant, just think of everything that you will be bringing down if you succeed. And then also think of the backlash that you're eventually going to get from the cheater. Because if they already had their 80% and that 80% was their it, and then by the time they mess that up, then they're stuck with you, then they might not want to marry you, or they might just disrespect you altogether because you allowed yourself to be placed in that situation, and then you played into the part. And then not only that, you were bashing their spouse too and jumping on their side without really genuinely knowing the 100% truth behind that marriage. Okay. And then you're wondering why. Okay. they moved on, and then he's bashing his spouse, and then you're bashing the spouse if they get divorced, and you're wondering why he's still talking about the spouse. Well, the reason why he's talking, or she's talking about the spouse, because they love them. Okay. And then now, because the spouse found out about the cheating, they divorced. Now they're stuck with you, the 20%. So now all they want to do is attack the other spouse and make their life as miserable as possible, when in reality, it was the behavior of the cheating that kind of severed the connection, severed the marriage, which caused the divorce. And they're not going to show you you're responsible, because you were the last. You were their last choice. Okay. And because you were their last choice, if they know 100% that they can't get their spouse back, they're going to stay with you, but now they're going to give you the business. Okay. And then they're going to be cheating on you, doing all kinds of stuff, because you don't have value anymore, because you've already shown them that they don't have to value you because of everything you were willing to do when you knew the truth. Now, if you don't know the truth, that might be something different. It's just going to be compound lies. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get it, it's going to be compound lies. And then hopefully somehow, some way, you could pray yourself out of that situation, or pray, or maybe God could give you a clue on actually what's really going on in that situation. Okay. And the best thing you could do is just remove yourself and allow them to handle their marriage, and just let them know, I'm not your counselor. I don't want to be. I have 99 issues myself. And that's for you guys to pretty much handle. You know, you chose her, you love her, whatever the situation is, it's up to you guys to fix it. And then bounce out immediately. Okay. God bless you. God smile on you. And I'm rooting for you to, do the right thing, do the right thing. And if you don't, I'm not judging you. That's for you. That's between you, you and the man upstairs. Okay. God bless you. Bye.